All right, welcome back. So let's talk real quick. I want to take a quick minute to talk about how to make your marriage work. Okay, if you're struggling in your marriage, your relationship, your love, this would be a good segment for you. I want you to listen carefully. Okay, now how do you make your marriage work? Well, first of all, you have to work. The marriage is not a human being. The marriage is a function of the humans in it, right? So if the humans in it, if they work, the marriage will work. Well, work, what do you mean work? Like hard work? Exactly what? Well, work, it depends on what we're talking about, right? It varies. But I really wanted to tackle this conversation because I see I had a client that asked me a question around it, and the person had been struggling for about 3 years straight to make their marriage work, and she feels as though that she is the one doing all the work, and she's given up. She said the marriage is not working. If the marriage is not working, it's not working. Just move on, right? Yes, I actually agree. I agree. If it's that simple, just move on. But, of course, after a couple of questions here and there, fact finding, all of this, all of that, what's the goal? Because that's one of the exercises that we take people through. What is the goal? What is your goal? This is the part that most people struggle with. They don't they tend not to have a specific goal. It's almost like after having a conversation with them, it's almost like it's like they're expecting a good marriage to just fall out of the skies. Kind of like the first 2 years of the marriage, right? Kind of like the first 2 years, or maybe first 6 months, or maybe the first 1 year. Um, they just expect it to, like, I was in love with you, I trusted you, how dare you, right? So now suddenly the true color of that person shows up, right? Because everybody shows up with their representation in the beginning of any relationship, right? They put their best foot forward. You fell in love with the idea of being in love for the rest of your life, happily ever after, right? And then before you know it, real life kicks in. What is real life? Human beings. Human beings are flawed. No, there's no perfect, yes, including you. There's no perfect anybody in the world, right? And the funny thing is that she actually led with that. I know, I know I'm not perfect, oh, bet.
Bobby,
No, 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 no. There's no bet. You're not perfect. Full stop. End of period. Space, right? Blank period, right? But I get it. I get it. Like, okay, so the idea here that I really wanted to share with you here is that marriage does work, but it only work if you work. Okay, if you embrace the idea of work, similar to how you embrace the idea of work at your day job, because I know it's a little bit easier because you expect a paycheck next Friday or the other Friday after the next, right? So it's a little bit easier for you to say, oh, it works. Well, it works because you work. The job exists only if somebody feels it, and it's only productive, as you say, right? So when people say marriage work, is it productive? Is it working? Or it's not working, we should just escape and run away from it. If it's that easy, please do it. Simple. Shikina. But there's a but. The conversation usually doesn't end there, right? So if the conversation doesn't end there, then we have more stuff to talk about, right? We have more stuff to talk about, and the work starts with you. Oh, well, I've done all the work. I'm doing all the work. I can't carry all the weight. Wait, oh, what weight are you carrying exactly? And first of all, who is asking you to carry all the weight? What you should be carrying is your own side of the weight. Okay, only if you carry your own side of the weight, it's highly unlikely that you attract a person who is not doing the work. No, you don't know these people. Yes, I do know them. Okay, I know them very well. You remember what I just said? Attraction. There are some people out there, you become easy target for them when you don't do your own work. Okay, there's some people out there, it's just the way it works. If you don't do your own work, especially if you say I'm doing all the work, and when I say what work did you do, and you can't tell me what work exactly are you doing, exactly how you did the work. You can't tell me that. You can't tell me that in like one sentence. It tells me everything I need to know. You need to get back to work. Okay, stop worrying about the other person. Because if you focus, because it's called leverage, right? If you focus on your own side of the work, okay, it's either the self-eject or you won't be comfortable because you might just be the narcissistic one in the relationship too. Yeah, no, sorry, right? You won't be comfortable. You'll be looking to run away because that person is doing the work, right? And they're not really concerned about you, or they seemingly are not concerned about you. Okay, so the easy angle to go in this conversation is to say, yes, so it takes two to tango. If you're not doing the work, or you should just leave. Leave to go where? Your shadow follows you everywhere you go. Where are you going? Your shadow. No, listen to me carefully. You might need to leave. Okay, that might actually be the first step. But why are you leaving? Have you taken the time to assess why you're leaving? Because most of the cases we're talking about is not situation of any type of physical violence or any type of situation that's not out of the norm. Out of the norm does not mean you're not collecting. No, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is that if it's that simple, leave. Because sometimes when you leave, is how you get the clarity. Leaving does not have to be a permanent decision. It could just be you're taking a few steps backwards, right? So you can actually do the assessment that's needed here. The work. But the real work that I really want to highlight, there's a couple of work that I want to highlight that you need to do. Okay, that you need to do. There are a couple of things I want you to do, and it's going to be useful for you wherever you go. It's not just in marriage. This will work for any relationship of any type, including professional relationships. Okay, including professional relationships. If you don't do these things, again, you'll be. And honestly, there are three types of people: people that things happen to, people that make things happen. Right, and people that say what happened, right? People that are always surprised that something happened, and they always come back and say, Ola, you don't know these people. No, me, I know these people. Okay, this world is full of evil. With that being said, the average person in your circle, are they evil? Because that means you're evil, just so you know. Okay, are they evil? No, that's not what I'm saying. What are you saying exactly? That people are not perfect? Good. That people sometimes are. Makes you want to say, or makes you want to say, now Adam, you dey trust? I need that sound effect. Now Adam, madam, you dey trust, man? Yeah, right. So people are coping sometimes by stepping on your toes. Some of them are the closest people to you. Some of them are your children, and then you will now have excuses all of a sudden. So how do you make marriage work? How do you make marriage work? You have to work. The individuals in it have to work. But the idea of trying to control the other person, another human being, into your idea of work, they tend to fall flat on the face because you're not capable. You don't have the capacity to drag another person to do your own idea of work. The only thing that you're capable of doing is yourself. Working on yourself, understanding that you absolutely have the power to attract the results that you are getting already. Like, as in, that's the reality already, right? It doesn't mean that you're not a victim. That's not what I am saying here. I'm not saying you're not a victim. What I am saying is that if you are capable of complaining, condemning, right, and criticizing, then you can, three things: complaining, condemning, criticizing, then you can absolutely do something about your situation. Something, just a little something, right? Maybe some work, so that you can actually attract a marriage that works. So with that being said, there are two things that I want you to focus on, and I will continue to pound on it because sometimes you have to repeat things over and over. You need to work on your influence and your seduction capabilities. That's all you can control anyway. Your ability to learn, right? Your ability to learn and your ability to master what you're learning. There is learning and there's mastering it. A lot of people, they might just read one chapter from a book or one of my books or watch one video, and then they take my idea, they run with it. It's not going to. Listen, unless you're a genius, okay, which they do exist sometimes. But it's not going to be that simple, I guarantee you. What's going to happen is that you're going to find out that, old habits die hard. Old habits, they die hard. You might even change for a few split of a second, but the same habits that got you into that place in the first place will come back. Okay, you will relapse. That's if you know what you're doing at all. It's highly unlikely that you know what you're doing just by listening to one or two, three videos. It's very unlikely. You have to practice this, you have to do it, you have to fail multiple times, a few times at least, before you can really start to master, because the patterns is what's going to train you. The examples, right, is what's going to train you. Seeing multiple of like reps, kind of like how you're working out in the gym to build a muscle. That's how you're going to master this stuff. You're not going to master it, but from trying it works one time. If you work the first time, it's probably a setup for failure, because the second time it might not work, and then you say that thing doesn't work, Jerry. Somebody was just lucky, if you say so. Right? If you say so. Like I said, if what you're doing is working for you, like I've always said, keep doing it. But if it's not working, there are 8 billion people out here, okay? And there are patterns. And you can absolutely learn one or two things that you can use to improve your experience, particularly when it comes to marriage now. So how can you make your marriage work? Do the work. I know it sounds like cliche, and you know why it sounds like cliche? Because you've never done any work. That's why. Because if you try to attempt the work, you know there's multiple layers and multiple dimensions to it. But sometimes if you don't collect first, you know, go listen. I get it. I'm here. All of us have been there. All of us have been there now. We have to collect wood to first.
Sorry.
But we're always here to guide you to the promised land. Okay, so I ain't mad. I'm not mad at you. If you're in a place that everything is working fine, don't change nothing. Keep doing it. Do me a favor. If you got some value from that, hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications, right? And let me know. My question for you today is, what did I miss in this video? There's one little thing that I've missed in this video today, because you're a very smart, intelligent person. Let me give you one hint. Maybe just make sure you marry somebody who is kind. Something like that. Join the conversation. Something that you know for sure that when you do it, you will end up with a marriage that actually works. I would like to hear your thoughts on that. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications. I'll see you in the next segment right about now. We're coming right back.
Hey Prestige fam, show some love to the video. Hit like, subscribe, and share. Are you in Europe, America, and struggling in your relationship? From argument to abuse and trust issues, we're here to help.
Lola and I founded Prestige Marriage Academy to transform your story. With 20 years of friendship, 17 years of marriage, experience with navigating the ups and downs of marriage, and personalized coaching, includes 24/7 support. Ignorance is expensive. WhatsApp us at +1 732 305 8577 to book a free discovery session today and take charge now.
Don't wing it.
Join us in creating the love life you deserve.